Good morning, everyone. Hope you are well. I want you to know that I'm missing you. The whole staff are missing you, and I mean every one of you, and we can't wait to see you again. We don't know when that will be. We hope it will be sooner rather than later, but we don't know. In this assembly, I want to talk about learning and what learning from home is going to look like going forward. Before I do, I've put a big question on the board, and I wonder if you've thought about it. And the question is, how are you finding lockdown? Now, I asked the teachers about how they were finding lockdown, and I asked you to do the same. And what I asked the teachers was to put their fingers up to say what they felt. So a 10 means that they are thinking lockdown is brilliant. And a 0 means that they are hating every minute of lockdown. Now, the range was 5 up to 8. Put your hands up now and show me, what do you think? I'll tell you what I said. I said 7. So it can't be a 10 because I feel really sorry for those poor people who are suffering from coronavirus, and that's really sad. And my prayers, my thoughts, my hopes go to those people, and that's why we're doing all of this, trying to keep people as safe as possible, that we don't spread coronavirus. But it's not a 0 because there's parts of this I'm actually quite enjoying. I'm enjoying being at home. I'm enjoying reading. I like reading. I'm enjoying reading. I'm enjoying watching telly. So in my house, I've got a table that extends. It goes into a slightly bigger table, and I put a net in the middle. Now, I'm not seeing my children as much at the moment because I need to distance myself from them whilst I'm in school. However, when I do, we're having the Morgan Table Tennis Championships on the table, so I'm loving things like that. How are you finding it? One of the things I've watched on telly is a program on Amazon about the Australian cricket team, and I wonder if you know who this person is. He was a fantastic batsman for Australia. He's won the World Cup, I think, a few times. So that's the World Cup that England won this year. And he was really disciplined. He was really resilient. He was a really good batsperson. Well, now he's the manager of the Australian cricket team. His name, if you didn't know already, is a guy called Justin Langer. And I've been watching this series about the Australian cricket team where he leads the team. And do you know, I've not watched it all yet. I think I'm up to number 6. They're not doing very well. They are losing match after match after match, and the pressure on this guy is immense. But I am impressed at how he carries himself with dignity during this whole time. But he isn't the person I want to talk to. I want to talk to you about 2 people in this picture. So this guy is a guy called Nathan Lyons, and he's a bowler, but he's a spin bowler. And there's a guy, and I think it's this guy, is a guy called Travis Head. And in Australian cricket, when you get your first call up to play for the Australian cricket team, you get given something called a baggy green cap, and that's this thing there. I think there's been about 450 people, 450 men who played for the male Australian cricket team. I don't know how many have played for the female cricket team. I should have looked up at that before I started this video, so I'm sorry that I didn't do that. But in the men's team. So he's going to pass this on to this guy. So he has asked for Nathan Lyons to give him his first cap. Now, Nathan Lyons, in the series, comes across as a bit tough, as a bit serious, I'm not saying he's unfriendly, but there's other players on it who are more friendly. And he said before he gave Travis Head his cap, that he wasn't bothered. He just thought, I'll give him his cap and I'll get on with it. It wasn't a massive deal. But actually, when it came to it, he broke down in tears. And he got really upset because he saw the magnitude of this. And then he gets really upset. And off screen over here, his mum and dad and his family, because it's a big deal for them. The point I'm making is how much it meant for Travis Head to play for his cricket team, for the Australian cricket team. That's what I want from you guys. I want from all of us to understand what a privilege, what a pleasure, what an honour it is to be part of TeamKR. It is wonderful to be part of this wonderful team, including right now. What about this guy? He could be our teachers. He could be me. I've pressed the screen, so I've lost him. What a privilege it is for him to give Travis Head this cap. What a privilege, I mean an absolute privilege it is for me to lead our wonderful school with all of you guys in it. And we talked at the beginning of the year about this, didn't we? We've talked a lot about Boo Boo, about how wonderful you are, what you look like, the things you like, the things you don't like, what you like to eat, what you believe. All of that kind of stuff makes you you. How you act makes you you, and that is brilliant. And I talked about the King's Road jigsaw and how we're all bits in it. Every one of you is a piece in that jigsaw, and without you here, without you part of TeamKR, that piece is missing from our jigsaw, and our jigsaw is incomplete. And that's why I want you to bring you, don't be somebody else, bring you to us, to part of Team King's Road. Well, going forward, I've extended the theme into be healthy. So it's now maybe Boo Boo B, Boo Boo B, I don't know. But this reflects this term, or however long we're going to be learning at home for. And I want you to take these 6 words seriously when I explain them to you. We've talked about well-being and being healthy. The first word there is social. Now, right from the back, I want to say here, you've got to be safe. You've got to be safe. I don't want any of you online talk to people you don't know. If anybody comes across you online, you don't talk to them. You absolutely don't. You go and tell your mum, your dad, whoever you're living with, and you deal with it there, but you don't talk to them. You certainly don't reveal any details or anything like that. You don't. So you keep yourself safe. But with your mum and dad's or mum or dad's or whoever you live with guidance, talking to your friends through phones or what other ways you want to do it, I think is a good thing. I think talking to your family is a really good thing. Talking to your relatives through the phone who are not living with you is really important, and that keeps you socially healthy. For me, I think when I was going to talk to maybe my table tennis team online, and I do that every Tuesday at 7 o'clock, I think to myself, but then once I've done it, I've chatted to them and I've laughed, at the end, I come off the phone and I am invigorated. I am buzzing, I feel really positive. The next thing is physically. I want you to be physically healthy. And we've talked about different strands on that. We've talked about eating well. Don't eat rubbish. Don't just eat sweets and chocolates. And as I've said before, I'm not saying they're bad, but I'm saying everything has a place, doesn't it? Everything in moderation. And if you're having too many of these unhealthy things, that makes you feel worse. I know we've talked about sugar gives you this buzz for a short amount of time, but then you are lower as a result of it far longer. So avoid it. Make sure when your parents are putting, or whoever you live with, are putting on your plate vegetables or fruit or whatever, start with that. Think in your head, this is brilliant. Don't think, oh gosh, I've got to get the peas out of the way, I've got to get the broccoli out of the way. You've got to really think positive things about it and embrace it. What a privilege it is to have this wonderful food provided by your wonderful parents or carers for you. That's a privilege. So eat well and don't eat too much. The next thing I want to talk about is being physically healthy. So every single day, folks, every day you should be being healthy. And you can be physically active in your house if you are staying in your house. You absolutely can do. There's loads of things that you can do. There's Go Noodle, there's yoga things. There's lots of things that would accommodate you personally, the activity that you like. And don't stop the minute you feel a little bit tired. And that comes to this word, the resilience. Be resilient. Keep going even when you feel a bit tired. Keep pushing yourself physically. Now, for most of you, I would advise Joe Wicks. Now, when we do Joe Wicks, there's a period in it where all of us, and you might rest for a bit, then keep going. Keep going. It's really important that you keep physically active. When you're in school, you walk to school, most of you. In school, you walk around school. At playtimes, you play out, you play whatever it is you're playing with your friends. We're not doing any of that. So it's got to be replaced with something by being active. Start the day. Joe Wicks at 9 o'clock. All of you have to be doing something physically active at 9 o'clock. And that brings you back onto routine. Don't be staying in bed too late. Get up, have a healthy routine. Be in good habits. Get up, get ready for the day. Ready for your learning. Ready for your activity. Ready to seize the day, to embrace the day. Now, there's going to be times where you'll feel woohoo, and there's going to be times where you're going to feel sad, and that's okay. We all feel those things. Don't hide away from them. Don't run away from them. Tell your parents. At school, you put on our emoticon boards how you're feeling at the start of the day. Well, you can replace that by telling mum or dad or whoever you live with, this is how I feel today. Do you know, I feel angry. That's okay. I feel angry that this stuff is happening. That's okay. Not okay to take it out with people. It's not okay because you're angry to be short-tempered with whoever is in your family home. That's not okay, and I don't tolerate that. But what is okay is to say to your whoever, I feel unhappy, I feel angry, I feel sad. Those emotions are fine, and then you can talk it through. Talk it through, and not just push them away. We talked about the film, didn't we, Inside Out, and we talked about sadness, and we talked about joy. I can't remember who it was who told me those characters. Whoever it was, you were really helpful. But about how for most of the film, sadness is kind of pushed away from by joy. And there's a time in the film where the character, and this is where you helped me with the name, I can't remember it at the moment. Bing Bong, is it? I can't remember. And he's lost a toy, I think it is, and he feels sad. And joy goes to him, and joy's like, woohoo, just ignore it, let's get on, let's skip, let's play. And sadness says, and it's the part in the film where she comes to the front, says, no, Joy, we need to talk about this. And he does. And he says, I feel sad. And then a bit later on, he feels good again. Now, the argument is that if you don't tell people that you're feeling sad, it just stays there. You push it away and it stays there. And it's important to share that kind of stuff. On the other side of it, there's 3 words that link to our home learning. So being creative. That's about doing the tasks differently to and better than anybody else. How can you still do the tasks that have been set and do it brilliantly? Being resilient, which is about not quitting. Don't quit when it gets hard. Don't quit when it gets bored, whether it's your exercise, your learning, or whatever it is that you're doing. You might be learning a new skill, such as a musical instrument, or sewing, or whatever, baking. Don't quit when it gets hard. Even if you fail, don't quit. Failure's fine. And the last thing is diligence, and that means doing things to the best of your ability. So doing things, being careful, being precise, and doing it well. We're setting home learning looking a little bit, we want it to look a little bit differently now. So each day you're going to be set an English task. You all have to do it. You have to do it. We don't just coming back to school whenever it is, let's say in September, and realising that some of you have not done anything. So there'll be a quick English task each day, which might be reading or speaking and listening, which is really important, or vocabulary, which is also talking and using the right kind of words and that kind of thing. For those of you who don't speak English at home, can you start? So make sure, now those of you who don't speak hardly any English, learn words each day. Learn basic words each day and practice them and develop your English. But all of you, I want you speaking and addressing English at home. I don't think I've got maths on there. I have maths at the bottom. So maths will be stuff like times tables or counting or mental arithmetic or problem solving. Remember, be resilient. Don't quit if you can't solve the problem. Be diligent. Do it to the best of your ability. When you come back, learn new for years 2 onwards. Learn new times tables. Be responsible for your own learning with that. There's loads of information sessions on the internet, things about history or Romans or geography or whatever. Really look into them. Don't just be watching Gravity Falls or other programs. Watch these kind of things as well, because that helps you expand your knowledge. Topic, so the things that you would have been doing at school, we're going to set them. And on a Monday, we'll set all the work for the rest of the week. Now, for reception and nursery, yours is being set to suit you guys. It might look a little bit different to this. And then other is if you want some more, or your parents want some more, it'll be things like Timetables Rockstars, or Education City, all that kind of thing. And actually, because I've talked for so long, I think I'm going to leave it there. The teachers are sending me clips and pictures of them to give you a message. So hopefully maybe by Tuesday or Wednesday of this week, that will go out, so watch out for that. As I've said so many times, we love you. You are massively loved. Remember, you can contact us through the comments clicker if you want to, if you've got any fears or worries or anything's happening. Be safe. Can't wait to see you again.